Hey guys, welcome to Cosplay Life. I'm Air Bear, and today I'm going to talk you through how I made Taka. Alright, so I feel like a good place to start with how I made Taka would be the concept picture or like the drawing that I drew. So I'm gonna go grab that. Alright, so I couldn't find the final picture that I had, but I found like some of the working pictures. So I started off here and then went there and then finally ended up with that one. And then I'm gonna insert the picture of what my final idea was, which was very close to what we actually ended up with. So I guess I'll start with like the main piece, which would be the bodysuit. All right, so what I used for a pattern for her, well, I started off with like this weird sort of pinky fabric. I guess it's mostly like this color. It was like no, it wasn't that color. It was a light pink. So it was a light pink pattern fabric that I started off with, and I used this pattern to make it the one right there in the middle, which is also the same pattern I used to make Poison Ivy, I believe. So I took that, I sewed it, and then I used Rit dye to dye it light purple. And then I used the Color Shot sprays to dye the outside. In order to dye the outside, I put it on the mannequin, like if you look. I'm gonna show you. If you look down here, you can see where I accidentally sprayed my mannequin while it was on there. So I used the color shots to concentrate the color on the sides and kind of fade it out once you get to the middle. And it's also, I believe it's heavy on the back too. So that is how I did the gradient of color. After I did that, I noticed that the outfit was still really plain, like even with the shell and all the armor. So I went in and I spray painted. Well, I got these beaded necklaces. They're shells. They're all just, it's like just a bunch of shells on a string of beads. I got that, and I got some other shells, and I spray painted all of it gold, and I hot glued it to the top. So it's hot glued up there. So that is how I did this little decorative necklace piece up there. So for the back of it, I had to sew in these Velcro strips because I wanted this to be removable, the skirt, so that if I needed to use the bathroom, I could use the bathroom. And I used the exact same fabric that I used on this in order to make this. This is the skirt. It just has 3 tiers on it. And it's just tulle that I cut at 3 different lengths to make it all the way floor length, but it has 3 tiers. And each tier is tipped in gold. It's the gold hot shot, so you can see the different tiers. And the tulle was already this purple color. Except I think the top of it, yeah, the top of it's darker because I had to spray paint this because it was originally that color. So it's spray painted. I wanted it so that when you took it off, the costume still looked good together, because I'm going to take it off and go to the bathroom. So that is the skirt and like the main body piece. So for a while, I had been saying that when I make leotards, I need to make an easy way for myself to go to the bathroom so I don't ruin my paint and so that I don't mess up the costume. This costume, I wouldn't be able to easily pull down and pull back up without ripping this hot glue off. So I added this little thingy on the bottom just so that I can go to the restroom easily. However, this is something I need to fix because I guess it's too wide. It kept coming loose, and so I eventually just had to safety pin it closed. But that is the bottom part, and that is all the leotard. All right, so next up, I'm going to tell you about the shell. So originally for the shell, what I wanted to do was I wanted to put a book bag in here so that I could use it for storage, and there would be a zipper right here so I can open it up. But I procrastinated as usual, and so I had to just get it done. So the shell is made out of a high density foam that I got from the engineering guy in Atlanta, Georgia. I used 2 pieces. There's this first piece, and then there is the second piece. It's kind of the main shape. What I don't like is because there's so much stuff in the middle of it, it kind of concaved in the middle. So I do want to open this back up and add in some stuffing to stuff it back up. But I added on these straps before I glued it closed. I added on the straps, and these are clear elastic straps, but I added it on before I spray painted it. So now they're not clear. They're only clear right there. There are better ways to keep it clear. I did not do any of those better ways. I was just, it was a rush. So for the other side, my main goal was that it needed to be shiny, because that's the main thing. It just needs to be shiny. So I took a bunch of shells. There's some shells on here. There are pieces of jewelry. And so I got loose pieces of jewelry from my mother, and I also wanted there to be a little bit of movement in it. One of the pieces fell off. It was like a big ball that moved. But anyway, I wanted it to have movement, I wanted to have texture, and I wanted it to kind of be like you couldn't really tell what was on there. I would like more pieces and like more 3D pieces on it, and also to fluff it up some. But yeah, I just glued on the shells and the jewelry, and I glued it all on, spray painted it gold, and then I went through with this big chunky gold glitter. I'm gonna show you the 2 different glitters I used. Hold tight. All right, I have it. So in order to add the glitter, what I did is I think I started off with regular, well, I call this regular. This is the first Mod Podge I was ever introduced to. But I started off with this Mod Podge, and I just kind of sponged it on with a sponge to kind of get it in all the crevices. And then I sprinkled it with this glitter, which is like a chunky jumbo glitter. So I went in with this glitter and kind of sprinkled it all over the place. And then I went back in with this extra fine glitter, and I sprinkled that on top of everything, because my main goal, again, was shiny. I want shiny. And so after all of that dried, I did that a couple of times to make sure I could get all the pieces in. And I also worked section by section, because if you were to paint the whole thing, it would start drying before you could get the glitter on. So I did like this section and went and just did section by section. So after I did the Mod Podge and the glitter, I went back through with the Super Gloss Mod Podge, and I did that on top of everything else to hold the glitter in place, because right now the glitter is not going anywhere. There's a little bit, like 1 fleck of glitter on my finger, but for the most part, the glitter is not going anywhere. So that is how this part was done. I think I also added strands of hot glue. So like I did the hot glue gun over it, so that I could get like these weird globs and texture. I just wanted a bunch of texture on it. So there's a lot happening. So that's the shell. And it's not really heavy. The foam was a little bit heavy, but it's not that heavy. And if I were to do it again, I would like to add like something right here, because this was supposed to be like the collar kind of framing my face. So I wanted like either glitter here or some sort of texture tool there. I will also add a backpack or something. And see, look here, because it always rests on this bottom, it weighs down on itself. So yeah, it's not super heavy, and I tried not to make it too wide so I could easily get through corners and stuff. So yeah, that is the shell. I feel like this video is going to be really long, so I may need to stop it here and then do a second video for the armor, because the armor was kind of a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the video here, because I think that this probably was a lot of stuff. And in the next video, I'm gonna talk about how I made this poop over here. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and share it with your friends. If you have a friend who's like, oh, I wanna be the weird looking crab from Moana, and you're like, that's nutso. Go ahead and share this video with them, because it is nutso, but it's like, it's kind of what I do. So share it with your friends. If you like this channel, go ahead and check out the other videos. I have other videos. If you like this channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Click the notification bell because apparently I don't post very often. So if you click the notification bell, you'll get a notification when I post. So click the notification bell so you can get a notification, especially when I put this stuff out. And other than that, have a wonderful day. I will catch you guys next time. And I've been telling my kids to wash their hands like at the end of all of their videos. So make sure you wash your hands as well. Bye guys.